Okay, welcome everyone as we learn the Mishna Yomis, as we are holding in Masechtas Makos, and we are holding, am I right in saying that we're holding at Mishnah Ches? Yes. Okay. So we are sponsored L'ilui Nishmas David ben Chaim, L'refu Shalema for Yomis ben Chayesar, Yaakov ben Basi Leah, and B'schus Avram ben Yom Benish ben Malki Yudis and family. We are sponsored by the Fisher family, L'ilui Nishmas Basi Bas Rab Shlomo ben Avram Levi, Pel Bas Ruven, and Shama should have an Aliyah, by Eddie Kazan for his Zayda, Rabbi Yedidia Toledano, his Neshama should have an Aliyah, and for the safety of the soldiers and the recovery of the hostages, by Yol Kugman and family for the Parnasa Gesund and Nachas, L'refu Shalema for Mishna ben Esther Fradel, Rivka Bashir Leah, Dvara Bashashabina, Yitzchak ben Sion ben Dusha, and Meir ben Chayesar. They should have a L'refu Shalema b'Seich Shachar Yisrael. Now, remember, the pasuk says, "Al pishnayim edim ishloisha edim yumas hameis," on the testimony of two witnesses or three witnesses. And the obvious question is, if we put to death for two witnesses, we surely would put to death for three witnesses. So the Mishnah continues to tell us, "Mashnayim." Just like if there are two witnesses, if nimtze echad me'am karav v'pasul, if one of them is a relative or disqualified because he's a gambler, or some other disqualification, edusan betela, the witnesses are thrown out. Af shloisha, even if there's three, nimse echamem karva apostle, if one of them was a relative or disqualified, edusan betela, minayin afilu meya, even if there's 100, if one of them is disqualified, we throw out all 100. Talmud Laimer, that there's also an extra word Adam, because it says Al Pishnayim Adam or Shloisha Adam. The second Adam is extra. Amar Rabbi Yosi qualifies this. Bamed v'amar murim b'dinei nefashos, if it's a capital crime. Aval b'dinei mamanis, if the third witness is disqualified, tiskayim ha'edus b'shar. By monetary matters, if we disqualify the third one, the two remaining ones are still considered enough. Rabbi says, Echad dinei mamanis ve'echad dinei nefashos. If the third one is disqualified, we throw out the whole set of witnesses. But that's only if all three witnesses participate in giving the hasra. Bizman shehisru behen. Aval bizman shelo yisru behen. But if only two of them gave the warning, the third one was just a bystander, so then, even though he witnessed it, he doesn't disqualify the whole set, because otherwise, what would be if two brothers and another person see a murder? Would we say that all three can testify, since the two brothers are one of them is a korev and it disqualifies the whole thing? Obviously, one of the brothers won't give hasra, and therefore he's not counted in the set, because otherwise, ma yasu shnei achim, what would two brothers do? Shiro be'echad sharias and nefesh, it would automatically disqualify the whole group, because the two brothers, one of them is a karev. So obviously we can't say that they're going to make the whole group disqualified. Rather, they don't participate by not giving hasra, so they don't participate in the case. Now, here's an interesting thing. There's a murder in the courtyard. Ruvain and Chatzkel see it from one window. And Don and Chaim see it from another window. The echad master by be'emtza. And somebody down in the courtyard is giving a warning. He's giving a warning to the murderer. Bisman shemiksasin royan elu es elu. The two groups in the window, Reuven and Chatzkel, and Chaim and Don, can't see each other. But they see the guy that's giving the warning, and the guy that's giving the warning sees both of them. Bisman shemiksos and royan elu es elu, when they see, some of them see each other, hari elu edus echos. That's one big testimony. And that means that if you're mazim part of them, then the whole thing falls apart. V'im lav, but if they can't see each other, hari elu shtei eduyos, they are considered two testimonies. And therefore, since Ruvain and Chatzkel is one set, and Gad and Chaim is another set, lefikach im nimtzeis achas mehem zaymimis, if, let's say, Ruvain and Chatzkel were found to be Edom Zaymim, they were in Dubai at the time, but Ruvain and Gad are still valid witnesses, and since they're considered separate witnesses, so we believe their testimony to put the murderer to death. So who, the murderer, the Hain, and the Zaymimim, and the first set of witnesses, Chaim and Chatzkel, are put to death. Who the Hain Neragin. Vashnia, the second group, Reuven and Gad, they're ptura, they're exempt because they were never made Zaymimim. Now, this seems Tanakama holds that this is good even though there was only one person giving Hasra. Rabbi Yossi says it's not good if one person gives Hasra. We need the mouth of both witnesses to give him the warning and say, you should know, if you do this, you're going to die. Shenemer al pi shnayim edim, by the mouth of the two witnesses. Davar acher, what does it mean, al pi, by the mouth? Davar acher al pi shnayim edim means that the judges have to hear it directly from the mouth of the witnesses. And if the witnesses speak Swahili, the judges have to understand Swahili. They can't hear it from an interpreter because they have to hear it directly from the mouth. Davar acher al pi shnayim edim shleitei Sanhedrin shemas mepiat turgaman. The Sanhedrin shouldn't hear from an interpreter. They have to hear it directly from the Edom. They have to know to speak the language of the Edom. If the Edom are speaking in French, they have to know French. They can't hear it from an interpreter, interpreting it from French into their language. We want to thank everybody for joining us and making the share possible. And we look forward to seeing you again tomorrow night at 8 by zoomdaf.com with the coordinates with the password of all caps RMMW. Rabbi Moshe Meir Weiss. Have a good evening, everyone.